Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. View Sports Talk starts in a couple minutes. We got Kyle, Pierre, Jason, and Leon in the house today. So if you guys are here, let us know.
But why are you sending him? Oh my god!
Don't worry, Aaron Boone won't be there after the season's over.
Is it still 3-0?
No, it's 3-2. But they. Oh my god!
Oh, you're getting close. You guys might be Texas.
I don't understand. Yeah, Texas, exactly. 55 and like 95. There's a runner on third, one out. The catcher, he got Shiokas on third. LeMay hits a little pop fly to right field. I get it. It's one out. But why are you sending him? It was short. Like, Phil Nevin, come on, baby.
There's batting averages in the league better than the Rangers' win percentage.
Yeah.
Hey, who'd you guys
it
piss
was,
off with the schedule maker, by the way?
Who, the Yankees?
You guys finished with 3 at Boston, 3 at Toronto, and then
Tampa.
And then Tampa. Who'd you guys piss off?
How would anybody know though at the beginning of the year? You didn't piss anybody off.
That's a hard way to end the year.
Of course, exactly.
That's a hard way to end the year, man.
With all due respect, the Mariners will take over the Red Sox in the second wild card spot. The Red Sox have the first wild card spot, and they have it like in a
Mariners got to jump like 4 teams. Mariners got to jump like 4 teams. Good luck with
that.
They're
five games back from the Red Sox.
And the Red Sox are going to finish with 6 against Baltimore and Washington.
Exactly.
And once they're done beating the shit out of the Yankees a little bit, just take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in Fenway, and then season over for the Yankees, and the Red Sox move on.
We're still there, baby. We still got hope.
But Jays Dodgers World Series, that's ridiculous. Those only heaters. What are you talking about, dude?
God, people are drunk on a Wednesday night.
We've seen crazier things.
There's a lot of drinking going on out there tonight.
Yeah. People must have tomorrow off for some reason.
I kind of like it. These guys are drunk as skunks out there, man. Jays Dodgers World Series. Seattle in 11 games are going to overtake the Red Sox.
Yeah, right.
The Red Sox will literally have to lose every game.
Literally, and Texas Seattle has to like win every game. And you know what's the thing with this year? You know how in previous years, right? In the September call-ups, they were allowed to extend the roster to 40, 40.
Yeah, it's 28 now or something.
Yeah, this year, let's say Tampa Bay, for example, maybe the last 3 or 4 games, they probably going to have the first seed locked up in the American League, but they still have to play their guys because they only have 28 guys on the roster. It's not like before. You could just put all the subs in, just, be healthy for the playoffs, and once it starts, So Tampa's going to play to the end, literally, because they only have 28 guys.
Yeah, they're going to play, but they don't necessarily have to play with the same.
No, and type of exactly. They just want
to. They've locked up. They
already got it. I think.
Yeah, they're
as far as the number 1, the top seed in the AL.
Listen, I don't care what anybody tells me. The AL East is the toughest division in baseball.
Oh, for sure.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's deep.
Fourth.
It's deep. They fight each other. These teams battle each other. I mean, it is like the AL East is a tough division. The only team that's not worth the lick is Baltimore.
Yeah, they've been beaten. They're almost beaten into relegation, man. I know they don't have relegation, but they're not in a good spot right now. They got nothing coming either.
No, I mean, you know what really doomed that franchise? I've been saying it for a couple of years now. Is Chris Davis?
Yeah, that was the worst thing they ever did was re-sign him.
I mean, his numbers were definitely inflated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it helped that he had other guys in that lineup too. I mean, he had Machado, Adam Jones. I mean, where you could not necessarily pitch around them, but, you had other guys in that lineup that you had to also worry about. So
they've got a good young offense, though. They have some good young offensive players.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Then they got the catcher.
At the Rushman.
Switch
hitter.
Yeah.
Mullins is nice.
Yeah, Mullins is good too as well. Yeah, he's kind of developed now.
They have a rookie of the year candidate there too. What's that? I forgot the
Mount
kid's name.
Castle.
Mount Castle, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have a good young offense, man. The problem is
They're pitching.
their pitching is absolutely terrible.
They
Yeah.
haven't had pitching for a long time.
Yeah, even those years where, like, you know, a few years back with Machado and all those guys.
They haven't had a great pitcher since Mussina.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it. Who have they had since Mussina?
Nobody.
Well, they had Gosman, but Gosman didn't do dick.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't, yeah.
He was when he was there. He's only good now. And
Look in San Fran.
Yeah, but he wasn't good there though. They haven't had.
no, he was not good there.
They haven't had a great pitcher since Mussina.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's a long ass time ago too.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
20 plus years ago.
I'm
Mussina
probably missing somebody, but
He went and
Come
played
on.
well in the Yankees too.
I don't know. It's got to feel terrible to be a Yankee fan right now, though.
Listen, man. Me and my friend, me and
Oh
my,
man, 27, man, 27.
yeah,
They're
I
gonna
hate
stay
that,
at
like,
27 too.
I'm not one of those Yankee fans
I
that
don't have
always,
to replace those hats with the 27 on them.
It's a lot of money to
Those
buy
are-
all those back. Yeah.
Nah, those are gonna be holding for another decade. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Easy.
Those will be good
Well,
for another decade.
As long as
Easy.
Aaron Boone's
You
there.
know, it's interesting because the Yankees have really become the Red Sox of this century. Like they won in 2009.
But they're
you know?
not like lovable losers, I don't think. I think part of the Boston's charm are they're kind of like lovable losers, no?
They're not anymore.
No, before, I mean. They're
Yeah,
kind of like
before
that.
they were. 2003.
Yeah.
Don't
It
worry.
all changed.
Aaron Boone is gone.
Oh, Aaron Boone is gone.
Yeah,
He's
but they're just gonna fuck up when they hire the next guy. So
They need to hire Buck Showalter.
What?
Jeez.
Get out
He's
of
the
here.
worst.
isn't he
Buck
dead?
Showalter's the worst.
No, he's still alive. he might be close though.
They need to recall Don Zimmer from the dead. Just have him.
But no, the only thing that's gonna save that franchise is Jeter.
The Jeter owns the Marlins.
I know he'll sell him. He'll sell him.
He's playing. Jason's just trying to. He's trolling, man.
Jeter-
Jeter's.
He's gonna
Yeah, because Jeter definitely turned around the Marlins.
Yeah. He's
But
really
he's
put his
good.
stamp
Yeah.
on them.
He's not coaching. That's why. You put him in the dugout. Wow, everybody. He just lifts everybody up. Or they're gonna pull A-Rod down from the broadcast booth.
Listen, I wouldn't actually mind A-Rod. You know why? Because A-Rod does know about baseball. That fucker knows what he knows. Just
You know, get him on the workout regimen.
Yeah, he'll get him on. He'll get him on. The
Get him
game
fixed
there.
up real quick.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, you
bench
guys ready to
pressing
get started
450.
here or what?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. We are back with another episode of View Sports Talk. We have the usual suspects in the house today: Pierre, Jason, Kyle, and myself, Leon. We're here to discuss this week's happenings in sports. So, Pierre, take it away.
It's the usual suspects -1.
Minus Neil.
We're missing
So
little
you guys-
Neil.
You guys are
Mr.
tuning
Neal.
in for your Phillies and Eagles updates. We apologize. You won't be getting it in.
Yeah, if you're looking for the Philly Fanatic show, it's not going to be this evening. This is good, but I'm sure Leon will plug Toronto 27
Oh,
times before the
Oh
show's
yeah.
up.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear about the Yankees and how terrible they are.
Yankees are terrible. Yankees are terrible. Look at him. Look at how pissed he is. That smile is all a facade.
Hiding his pain.
Trying to pretend like
frustrating.
he's okay with this. It's terrible.
I'm not
Listen,
okay.
I mean, they're are they? What's the score right now? They beating Texas yet?
Me too.
They're down by 1.
Yeah, that shit's
Which is a lot, considering how often they strike out.
Yep. 3-2, baby.
I mean, if it was a race to 14 strikeouts, they win every game.
Absolutely.
I kind of called it. Who's the power hitter they picked up at the deadline?
Joey Gallo, Rizzo.
Joey Gallo, yeah. That's what they needed, another 200 hitter that strikes out 220 times a year. Let's see how much Kyle can take today.
Oh no, I can take it. Don't worry.
No, but listen, you know what? You're putting together a roster. You're like, all right, you know, trading deadlines here. What do we need right now?
More strikeouts.
We need, we don't get enough strikeouts from Judge, Stanton, Might as well. Yeah, let's find another guy who strikes out like 150 times a year, 200 times a year.
Yeah,
And
swinging
they're
the
just-
Swiss cheese.
They're just putting load on the pitcher. That's a good 10 inning, 10 pitches per inning.
Yeah,
Get 'em out of there early.
minimum 9. Yeah,
You
you get
need-
him
yeah.
into 9.
Gallo's a little
Pitches per
different. Gallo's not 10 pitch at bats. He's like 4 pitch.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm saying for the entire inning. It's 10
Oh
pitches.
Yeah.
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 Those
Increasing
guys
the
are made
workload.
for the immaculate inning. If you put those guys
Oh,
all in
yeah.
a row, they're made for an immaculate inning. You know.
It's never happened to them though.
That's because they don't bat in succession, do they?
Some games they do, some games they don't. It all
Oh,
depends.
Oh, all right. Well, let's what's going on here? A Red Sox, a Yankee, Red Sox, and Blue Jay are sitting at the bar judging the race.
What?
I think the
They're
Rays
not
are
judging
good.
this.
No, the Rays are good. We never.
Nobody's judging the race. They're doing everything right.
Yeah.
They are. You know what's interesting about that organization though? It's like they just can't finish the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're relentless though. That's a fucking relentless team.
Yep.
Isn't their whole roster making less than Garrett Cole?
Wouldn't
Easy.
surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. I
Don't
think they're
wouldn't
close to
surprise
it.
me either.
Because Snell's gone, right?
They
Rose
don't
Reyes.
have any. Listen, who do they have?
The only one
That's-
making big time money is probably Nelson Cruz, and they just traded for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Nelson
probably on
Cruz.
deferred
Ugh.
money.
Yeah, and he's
Okay, so
probably
Prorated.
yeah, exactly. He was probably paid most of it by Minnesota anyway. So
Yeah,
it
there's
looks
no
like it's
way. There's no way Tampa Bay took
71
on all
mil-
that.
71 million for the Rays this year.
Okay.
I didn't
That's a
even
little
think it
higher
was
than
that.
I
I didn't
thought.
even think it was
That
that
sounds
much.
high.
Yeah,
That is pretty high,
yeah.
but
For
it
them,
is probably Nelson Cruz.
But
Yeah.
they spend like the second most money on scouting, right? That's where their money's spent.
yeah,
Yeah, but the dollars spent in scouting versus like
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
inflated like talent on your roster is way different.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cruz
Yeah.
and Kiermaier account for about 22 million of that.
Kiermaier's such a great defensive player, but like really,
Yeah.
But
What was he
Cruz
making?
wasn't there the whole
18
year, so
million?
I think that changes.
No, Kiermaier's just under 9. Cruz is at 13.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, everybody else is pretty much, Meadows probably makes a little bit of money, but other than that, I mean, there's really their pitchers. Glasnow probably makes a little bit, considering what. he
nah,
probably-
Tampa Bay, man, they're forced to like play this like sort of, I don't know, this scouting game that they develop great players, they find great players, they develop great players, and then they keep them low, and then once they get to out of their price range, they get rid of them.
Yeah, they just won't be able to.
It's kind of like how NFL teams treat running backs. By the time it's time for them to get paid, see it.
Well, Billy
On to
Bean
the
is
next
what
guy.
made this big.
Yeah.
This is a Billy Bean mentality. And Billy Bean, too, is also known for inflating the value of a closer
Yeah,
and then leveraging that to get more talent on the roster because they didn't have money to spend.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you
And they
know?
weren't attracting anyone in free agency.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's some different numbers. So that was their total payroll.
Yeah.
Their 26-man payroll is 43 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty damn close to what
Yeah.
Garrett Cole's making, which is
That
wild.
is- that's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's
That's wild.
insane. Dollar for dollar. I mean, there's no question what the best team in baseball is. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's not close.
Pittsburgh Pirates is 15 million.
You know, they're playing
They don't
like
have
it.
anybody, man.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. They're playing like it. I thought I thought Arizona was far and away the worst team in baseball, but Baltimore and Arizona have the same exact record.
They
Yeah.
do. Baltimore's been on a slide.
God, it's terrible. All right, so let's get into this. So we were going to start. I guess we start with. Well, I got on here wanting to start with Kyle. So I mean that's done. We kind of moved that out of the way. Kyle, I'm sure, is going to keep us posted.
Absolutely.
With his reactions on what's going on with what do you call it?
I needed the
fucking
Mets to
Yankees.
help me out a little bit, but they over there getting spanked by the Red Sox.
Well, it's 10-2 now. They got
Yeah,
another runoff sale, but
It's over.
well, let's start with this, guys. Let's start with San Diego. So San Diego went all in this year, right? I think for most people, I think the way the NL West would have played out would be Dodgers, San Diego, San Francisco, than everybody else, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Fair
what we
to say.
have here is we have a team that, I don't know, it may be the biggest underperforming team of the year in terms of what you thought was going to happen and what ended up happening. You have other teams that may have been the other end of the spectrum. Like, I don't think anyone expected the Red Sox to do anything. I don't think people expected Tampa Bay to be where they are. I don't think anyone expected San Francisco to be where they are either.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, this San Diego team it's pretty sad to see it kind of fall apart. So I'm going to start with you, Kyle. What are you thinking here? What are you thinking about San Diego? What was the turning point? What do you think caused this? Because this is something that none of us expected.
No, we definitely did it. I mean, coming into the year, obviously last year they made a trade for Clevenger from the Indians to kind of help them out for the postseason. He came into the season. He had to get Tommy John in the offseason, so he was out for the year. So he still went out in the offseason. They got Blake Snell in a trade. They acquired Musgrove from the Pirates. They were, making moves.
Darvish.
That's right. Darvish. I completely forgot about him. So they were out there, coming into the season. Everybody, I thought they'll be one of the better teams in baseball. And obviously that's not what's come. I don't know, man. Sometimes the pressure of you having the expectation of you winning, I guess they just kind of couldn't live up to that. Obviously we don't know what's going on within the clubhouse, what guys get along with who. It's tough, man. It's unexpected what happened with them. I expect them to be a lot better. Definitely
Who's
a lot.
to blame?
I would. Oh man, who's to blame? I would have to fall on the manager, I guess, right? He's the guy that has to kind of bring everything together. I know the players are the ones that got to, produce, but the job of the manager is kind of to bring these guys together, whether they dislike or like each other, to bring them all as one and figure out we're in this for one thing, to win. And I guess Prella couldn't, he's not the guy that's built to do it for them.
What are your thoughts, Leon?
I think context is very, very important in how they're kind of portraying this. I think the media likes to take the angle that Manny Machado's this kind of douchebag or he's kind of lazy or whatever. But if you don't fully get the context of what kind of happened, I think it's really easy to say like, oh, look, they got to trade one or whatever. So hopefully they mature out of this. He seems to be taking a good route with this. The Padres have held the second wild card pretty much all season up until that point. They just got swept by the Cardinals. They were playing the Cardinals. Terrible body language with Tatis. If you watch the whole clip, the main clip that gets passed around is just Manny Machado yelling, "It's not fucking about you. It's not fucking about you," or whatever, right? But the clip that no one ever sees, that the end part of it is he's screaming, "You're the best player in the world. Go, like, stop sulking. Go play. Don't get kicked out of the game. We need to win this game." So I think that's what's interesting about it.
Which is what a leader does, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, or a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like not everything's going to be like roses and like kisses and hugs and shit. Like, it's like, you know what, man? Go out there and fucking play and stop whining.
Yeah.
What's the matter with that? That's leadership, isn't it?
I hope it makes them closer together. But I mean, either way, they're going to have to make it work because both of them are signed up through like 2030, I think, like some ridiculous.
Oh, you can build around those two, man.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
you could do a lot worse with those two on the left side of your infield.
Come on, man. Yeah. There's not much. Name the left side of the infield better.
Probably a better left side, than them.
Yeah. And Tatis only 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah. Machado's
what left sides are you? I mean, I would put. I mean,
you could probably say Boston, Devers and Bogarts.
Just who the Yankees have over there?
Easy.
Jeter and Aaron.
Jeter and Aaron, yeah.
Jeter and Aaron.
No, but like, I mean, seriously, that left side of the infield is like insane.
No, it is. Yeah. But I mean, I think they kind of been trying to transition Tatis to the outfield recently.
I mean, they're going to need to because
his shoulder is constantly popping out. So, I mean, I don't know but still, I mean, either way, the guy's still going to be able to.
Doesn't matter. He's going to be somewhere on that
he's
field,
going to be,
right?
Exactly. He's going to produce when he's healthy.
But listen, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, I mean, if Manny Machado isn't saying something, he's not a leader. If he does say something, he's an asshole. Like, I mean, the guy can't win. I mean, I'm not going to be listen, there was a big altercation between him and Dustin Pedroia years ago, big dust up, and it made me really hate Machado. My dad always loved Manny Machado, but I can't stand it. I couldn't stand it because of that. But I also, I'm in the position now to look at something objectively and say, you know what? I don't think he deserves any of this backlash right now. Like, just play the game. If he's like, he can't win in this situation.
Yeah.
He can't. He's not the problem here.
No.
And he's made
We're
reference.
just talking about his numbers. He's going to hit over 30. He's going to drive in 100. He's going to bat 280. He's going to play stellar defense.
Yeah. He's made reference to like times when he was young and he made the wrong decision. So he's trying to teach, Tatis and the rest of his team to play kind of the old school way, the right way, quote unquote, whatever. But, I like the maturity out of it. It may spark them. It may not. I don't know. But they're for the first time in a long time looking out of the playoff picture. So it is interesting to see how they respond.
Well,
the old school way, he's 29 years old.
I mean, because on that team, he's like the grandpa,
he's
right?
the veteran.
Yeah, he's the vet.
Wow.
I mean,
they don't have a winning culture there.
No.
They don't. And also, like a manager, I think peer leadership is more important than a manager.
Yeah.
So, it's tough when you got a guy like Tatis who, listen, I don't know what his mental makeup is, but I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about himself. I mean, the dude is, so I think, does a manager put him in his place or does a peer?
Yeah.
I think a peer, right? Because it just lands differently.
Mm-hmm.
You just prefer it not to be so public, but
Shit happens,
sometimes
man.
it has to happen. Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do, man? Wait until the end. I think there's so much emotion and passion. And I think Machado, that's another thing people don't like about him. The dude's
that's how he is. He's passionate.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. He goes out there, he gives it his all. And he's in terms of mentally, I think he's just so invested in the game. I don't agree to this laziness shit. I think everyone has lapses, man, but I don't necessarily like, to me, I don't want to listen. This isn't to take a shot at the Yankees. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, lazy to me is Sanchez.
Oh yeah. I agree.
That's what I see as a lazy player. Yeah. When he was really floundering with the Yankees a couple years back, that was lazy to me. Machado is, I don't know, man. I don't see it the same way.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
And a lot's happening too, right? So right now, Philly's kind of surging. So you got a lot of buzz around Bryce Harper potentially taking MVP from Tatis. So, it's just all blowing to the wrong point for the Padres, I think.
Could it be a situation where you guys think that maybe Tatis, being like Jason said, he's so young, he got everything, he got too much too early, like the big contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he skipped all arbitration, basically.
His head is like this big right now.
But again, we can't, like, I don't want to claim to know his mental makeup.
No.
Because I don't. But I also know it's much easier for another player to get in his face than a manager.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't mind this public shit, man. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just gonna say it's also a 162 game season. A young guy like that, I'm sure things get a little monotonous. They're on a losing streak, or they've been on the snide ever since basically since the Dodgers said "fuck you," we're taking the two best players in the league. They've been on a downward spiral ever since that trade. So I don't know if that got in their head or what, but it's he's going to have a lapse. He's a young kid, super long season. He didn't like the call, whatever. But it was good for Machado to step up and try and get him straight again. But I mean, the season's all gone. There's 10 games left. They're 5 back from St. Louis, surging St. Louis, who's won 10 in a row for that second wild card spot. They ain't catching the Dodgers. It's not mathematically possible. I don't know. I think they go to the offseason, figure out where their signings went wrong, and rebuild around those two.
I just think Machado is growing up. I think he understands the impact of your star player, acting like that, and how contagious that sort of mentality is. So, like, I think as you get older in life, you start to realize that what's most important isn't performance and all that sort of thing. It's attitude. And if you have a guy who's acting like a complete whiny baby, if you're a veteran on a team, you're looking at it like everyone else is going to start acting like a whiny baby because they're going to model their behavior after their star player.
Yeah.
I think this is more of a signal of Machado maturing rather than him regressing. That's my opinion.
Oh,
And I think Tatis needs this. He needs a good dose of it. He's young. I'm not going to say he was handed everything. The guy's
he earned it.
He's incredibly talented, but he's young. He's young. And I love his energy. I love the way he plays. I love the youthfulness of his game. But I certainly understand why Machado would get in his face. And this team isn't built. Listen, aside from them, is it really built to win?
No.
It's tough. It's tough to build when you're not like producing your own players at a low rate. You know, you need those players that you bring up and kind of, you know, perform above replacement or whatever. So other than, you know, Tatis and maybe Cronenworth, like they don't really have a lot of guys that they brought up themselves. A lot of their prospects they gave away.
That's the thing. Tatis wasn't even theirs. He got traded from the White Sox.
Jake Shields, right?
Yeah, for Jake Shields. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Think about it. But I think there's a lot more to this than just like those two players. It's just they're not like, I don't think they're built to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hosmer's overpaid.
Hosmer, listen, man, that guy, that trade deadline, right? Or was it free agency? I don't remember which it was, but they were overvaluing this guy beyond anything I've ever seen. I'm like, what do they care about this guy? Remember, he was in Kansas City. Everyone was like, oh my God, Hosmer. Hosmer's fucking shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like a little above average.
He's just a solid player. Nothing incredible about him.
No, you're not going to sign somebody like that for $15 million or whatever the fuck. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, he's going to pay more than that, I think.
Sign him for the Pirates. Yeah, they should just get rid of him, trade him for the entire Pirates, and then pick and choose.
Yeah. Well, so that was just our kind of introductory topic, right? But what we really wanted to jump into was cheating. So I think we've all kind of seen different levels of, I don't know, game manipulation over the years. Varying levels. We've seen, and we've also seen things that somewhat get tolerated. So I wanted to kind of start a discussion with you guys around cheating in baseball and, you know, levels to it. I'm not sure if Leon's looking at us or if he's watching some baseball game, but we'll find out in a second.
No, we lost already. So my focus is.
So, you know, there's stuff like, listen, there's it go all the way from age fabrication, you know, for maybe some Dominican players to, I don't know, sign stealing, to performance enhancing drugs, to, I don't know, even stuff like altering field conditions. There's so many things. Sticky substances on baseballs,
scuffing balls,
corked bats. I mean, there's so much shit out there, right? But what exactly constitutes cheating in baseball? And I would love it if folks out there that are watching right now kind of share their thoughts too, so we have some extra sort of content to react to. But what exactly is cheating in baseball? Because, you know, I was thinking about this earlier, right? I'll throw this out there. Sign stealing. We'll start there.
Yeah.
Okay. My theory is it's cheating. Not theory. My stance is it's cheating. I don't care how long it's been going on. It's cheating. That doesn't mean that it's the highest level of cheating. But if you're playing poker, are you allowed to look at somebody else's cards?
Yes.
Are you? So you can have someone else go behind somebody else, look at their cards, and tell you what cards are in their hand.
That might not be the case, but another player, if they get up from the table.
No, I didn't ask you that. I'm asking you this. Yeah. Can you sit at a poker game, a professional poker game, have Leon post up behind me and have Leon tell you or signal to you what cards I have in my hand?
No, they would probably throw the hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens in baseball?
I think it's a little different than that.
No, it's not different than that. They're looking at signals that are being provided and giving the hitter a tip off to what pitch is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're talking about with electronics or just on the field? Like,
however you do it.
Okay.
I've always looked at it like this. I know growing up, right? I played baseball and I grew up playing the catcher's position. We've always taught as catchers, when you give your signs, you always your legs should always be, very close together when you're giving the signs, when there's runners on base, because there tends to be guys that can peek in, whether he's at first base, if your legs are too wide. Yeah, the batter can kind of, you can see if he's looking back. Another thing was always you set up late. So pretty much after you give your sign, you wait and then you set up, because if there's a guy in second, I know this is something I used to do well when I played growing up, teams I played on. If there was a run on second and you seen the catcher was set up early, let's say he was set up away, we would throw up our right hand. That's it. Just throw up the right hand. And the batter knew we had it together where the pitch was going, he was throwing it away. I never looked at it from that standpoint as cheating. I feel like it's fair game when you're on the field. Just my opinion. I never looked at it as cheating. If you're able to get the signs and they're not able to protect it enough, that's on them. That's not on us.
You guys both agree?
I guess it matters on how they obtain that information. I mean, the Jays did something with Baltimore a couple of weeks ago, where I think Robbie Ray was tipping his pitches somehow. And then so he kept trying to figure out what he was doing or where he was giving away some tell. And then him and the manager got involved, and then the manager starts screaming at him, yo, pitch or whatever. I don't know. I think some of that stuff is kind of bush league. Like if you're like taunting the other player while trying to steal his sign, because then they kept yelling and stuff they kept screaming like on delay. It was like a weird situation. Because you could hear all of it because there's no fans.
A little bit different though, right?
Yeah.
Because tipping a pitch is some sort of mannerism that you're providing the other team that shows what you're about to throw or what you're about to do. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. But we don't know if it was him tipping the pitches or they're stealing his sign. I don't know. I don't know what was happening. So, but I just know that it just got weird. And then a couple days later, the Subway Series with the whistling and stuff, all that stuff happened. I don't know. It's like, I guess it all depends on. I get everyone's on edge because of what happened with the Astros. Like, let's be honest. There's stealing signs, and then there's what the Astros did, which was systemized.
Well, if they're introducing technology to it, let's say.
Yeah.
Is that worse?
Yeah.
To me, it is.
No, it's not. It's still stealing signs. And to me, it's stealing signs is completely acceptable to me, because there's no expectation of privacy on the field. So if you have to do hand signals or whatever to try and get your message across, there's no expectation of privacy there. So the other team can see what your signals are. They can try and interpret them how they.
Hey, listen, I'm with you so far.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you up till there.
Right.
Now we introduce technology into this.
Now we introduce technology. I'm going to take the argument that why aren't the people giving the signs using technology as well? We do it in football with the play calls into the helmets. Why can't we do an earpiece in the pitcher's ear or some sort of, something maybe?
But that's not allowed.
Why?
I don't think it's allowed.
It's allowed. There's nothing in the rules explicitly against it. So I mean, why don't we have an ear? Yeah, why don't we have an earpiece in the pitcher's ear and have the batting or the pitching coach say, "Throw a fastball here, throw a curveball here, whatever."
I don't know. I don't know because I'm not convinced that's not a rule. I'm almost positive they can't have communication devices on the field.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
All right.
But that's a smart. Listen, I would say if they were going to look to counteract it, that's smart.
Yeah.
But
if anyone's getting an earpiece, it should be the fucking ump from the robot ump telling you it's the ball strike. But
the ump should just go away.
We're going to have robot umps before we know it anyway.
Exactly. In a couple of years.
But listen, I think
in the Southern League.
I think my argument for the technology piece is more that it's putting sign stealing on performance enhancing drugs. How's that any different? You're now able to park a camera somewhere and zoom in and start I mean, come on. I think I do, Jason. You convinced me up until that point. The technology piece to me is what I don't agree with. Like, if you're introducing technology into this, there's no. To me, it's analogous to a performance enhancing drug in a player.
Okay, so let's go like this. We've been having television broadcasts of games for what? 50 years, 60 years, if not longer. And almost every single pitch, the camera is behind the pitcher in center field. You can clearly see the catcher signals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if a team would put that feed in their clubhouse or in their dugout, or
not allowed to?
They're not allowed to?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think you can have that feed.
Okay.
They could watch the iPads though.
Right. Yeah, they can. Yeah, but
listen, but you're talking about a millisecond. So what are you doing then? Like, I mean, you know, because there's a delay. This isn't real time, so you're not seeing what you see on a TV or on a feed behind that. So you're not. There's not enough time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was a closed caption feed in the stadium, it might be almost real time. But you know, I don't know. I think if they're going to use technology to steal signs, use technology to give signs.
No, that part I agree with. If they can't figure out how to stop the technology piece, introduce technology on the other side of it. But to me, you know, the sign stealing, I mean, I remember even as a kid, is going back, I mean, even Little League, I mean, you steal signs, you try to figure out what people are pitching, you know, what they're going to throw, you try to figure it out. I mean, it's ingrained in the game early on. But I don't know, man. To me, it's still. I think that the introduction of technology is what makes it, I think, a little much. Otherwise, why are the Astros like frowned upon?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though, is like they really weren't. A couple of players got suspended. The World Series is still there.
No, none of their players got suspended.
None of the players got suspended.
But it altered the trajectory.
So Major League Baseball itself didn't see anything wrong with it.
Well, it's not that they didn't.
I think they're scared of the union.
They kind of couldn't do nothing to the players.
They couldn't do nothing to the players because they're taking direction from the organization.
Yeah,
they could have taken that World Series championship
away. Yeah, I agree. They could have taken it away.
I don't think they did it because I don't think they didn't take the World Series away because they thought it was okay what they did. I think because it stained the game. If they did.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd always have this stain on the game. It's easier to kind of try to explain it away and try to just make it disappear and move on from it than it is to say, all right, we're going to strip you of your World Series. Then you become like, you know, the Black Sox.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no one wants that. Right. But I don't know. I think interesting discussion, but that's like that's just the beginning. Right. I mean, sign stealing. Right. But then you've got other things like, let's talk a little bit about performance enhancing drugs. Let's talk about that.
That's nothing to talk about there.
It saved baseball. Let me be frank.
Yeah.
It saved baseball.
Yep.
Performance enhancing drugs saved baseball because you had that strike, right?
Yeah. A lot of people wrote off baseball.
Oh, people were fucking done, man. I lived it. People were done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember looking at my baseball cards as a kid and saying, fuck, man. You know, they meant less to me. The game didn't. And then, you know, enter Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and the performance enhancing drugs that were there, but not there, not like this.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll always remember performance enhancing drugs as being the piece that saved baseball, but also it created an era where you question everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you have two different kinds of, you have multiple performance enhancing drugs. You have amphetamines, right? That players were using back
in the 50s, 40s,
as far back as you can go, just to kind of keep their energy up and kind of, like you know, that's one piece. And I'm sure that still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's probably the most prevalent performance enhancer through the history of baseball, right? Then you have steroids, and then you have HGH. So steroids is something that's gonna that's what I call a temporary boost. HGH changes your body composition.
Yep.
Enter, Barry Bonds. So cheating?
Yes. Absolutely yes. And yes.
I didn't think it was cheating. Only for
So
this-
a lot of people said this, right? So let's go back. Let's go back to that time, right? And people said it's not cheating because it wasn't banned in baseball. Well, it's still illegal.
Yeah.
It was an illegal drug. It's on the federal government says you cannot take these drugs without prescriptions.
Yeah.
None of these guys has prescriptions.
Leon's awfully silent here. Look at him.
Dude, the funniest though is like during
Leon
that
thinks it's fine.
home run race
Didn't say that.
between McGuire and Sosa after every game, McGuire would have this tub of androstenedione in his locker. He'd be just downing the powder while talking to reporters.
Right, but androstenedione was a steroid precursor. So this was like a testosterone. Right. So that was sold at GNC.
Right.
And what they did was they banned that substance because it would create positive tests.
Yeah.
It was also used as a masking agent earlier on. So androstenedione, or andro, is the short what they would call it, was utilized to mask steroids. But you're right. McGuire would be. I know, Jason. Your biceps don't suggest.
Yeah.
But no. But you know what I mean. Like, listen, it was a steroid precursor. It was a steroid precursor, and it's something that they did use to mask it. But that home run race was pretty
exciting.
Pretty exciting. But it's cheating. Leon, do you think it's cheating? Why are you so quiet?
Because I think it's not a black and white issue. I think it is cheating. But then like when everyone does it, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying when both sides do it. Where it gets weird. I'm just saying where it gets weird is when like students or people that are young feel like they need to do it. So it gets really weird in that case. And you start juicing up high school kids and stuff. That stuff all gets weird. But like when people are so competitive, when there's only so many jobs, these guys are willing to kill you. I don't know, kill, but like they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep their jobs. As a fan of these players, like you don't want to see your favorite player, wash out at 32. So, some of these stars we got to watch Rocket Roger playing until it was 43, 42.
Yeah, but you're rationalizing. You're not saying whether or not it's cheating. So
I believe it's cheating.
You believe it's cheating?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, listen, because at the end of the day, man, if you're at the end of your career, it's hard to say no to something that you think might extend your career, like 5-10 years, might put you in the Hall of Fame, might make you an extra $25-30 million. I mean, rationalizing is different.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
I'm just torn on it. That's all.
Well, so if everybody had the same setup the Astros did, that's not cheating then? You guys just said it was cheating if they use technology, but if everybody's using technology, it's not cheating?
I mean, it depends on what the rule is. If the rule is that you can't do it, it's still cheating.
Mm-hmm.
The rule is you can't use illegal drugs to enhance your performance.
It's cheating. Listen, it's
cheating. I'm there with you then. Yeah. I'm just rationalizing it. I guess it's not as bad because everyone was doing it.
You're doing the Canadian thing.
It was more. It was more of an IQ test than it was a thing test, right? Wasn't it like they test you twice, then they wouldn't test you again? So you provide 2 clean tests, and then you're off to the races.
Well, it is cheating, obviously. You guys said, but what bothered me about it the most was just that after, like you guys said, the save baseball, McGuire, Sosa, they kind of turned their back on those guys after the fact. When the MLB knew, Bud Selig knew exactly what was going on.
He did his job. Bud Selig did his job. He did his job. Yeah. He said, you know what? Let it ride. You couldn't tell me anybody with a pair of eyes. Like when I was like, how old was I at that time? I was 20. I was living in a gym at that time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I looked at Sosa and I looked at McGuire, I saw steroid users. When I looked at Larry Walker, I saw a steroid user. I'm telling you, Larry Walker's in the Hall of Fame. I saw a steroid user. Chris Davis,
Giambi.
I told Voigt, Luke Voigt. I'm just throwing shit out there, but I'm telling you, I see steroid users, and I see it. If you're in that culture, you've been around it, you see it, you understand. Warren Sapp was just a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay. Sammy Sosa was a steroid user.
Yeah.
It's just, you just see it and you know what it is. You can feel it. And for me, anybody who was watching baseball at that time wanted it to be real. You wanted it to be real. But at the end of the day, in the back of your mind, you knew it wasn't.
Kind of like watching wrestling.
Kind of, yeah. But listen, I'm telling you, man, when I was watching this, I'm like, these are fucking steroid users, but I'm loving it. Yeah. I was just I'm guilty for liking it. I used to watch ESPN every morning if I fell asleep the night before early just to see, did they hit another one? Did they hit another one?
Yeah.
But it's cheating. It's cheating, period. And Bonds isn't the king of the cheaters. He's just the one that did it best.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like the scapegoat.
He just became
Jose Canseco
was
is the king of the cheaters.
Exactly.
Not only that, he's also a rat fink.
Yeah.
But it's clearly cheating. Now it's interesting because this one's kind of cut and dry. I get it, Leon. You're trying to rationalize it, which is fine. I could rationalize it. We could all rationalize it, right? I think we could all sit back and say, what would we do if we wanted to extend our career another 7 years, make another, $100 million, I'd probably do it. To be real.
Yeah, no, you're right. Especially if
you're family, if you're thinking about creating generational wealth for your family.
Yep. And if you're one of those guys that, that come from poverty, like, a lot of these guys from, Dominican Republic, there's all guys took steroids, but I'm saying guys like that, this is money that they're never going to make again, that, hey, I don't blame them for taking it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, what's the alternative? You get cut.
Yeah.
And then the positive is you become the next Mark McGuire or Sammy Sosa,
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
I don't know, man. It's crazy, right?
It's cheating though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? Court bats.
It's cheating.
That's clear, right?
Yeah,
it's a violation of Major League Baseball rules.
Yeah, clear as day. Sammy Sosa, that guy did it all.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Bouncing rubber balls in his bat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Albert Bell too.
That's right. That's right. Albert Bell. Yep.
I think you forget some of them, right?
Yeah, you do. You do.
Albert Bell. Albert Bell.
So how do you feel? How do you guys feel about what happened? I know you didn't want to make this Blue Jay specific, but this is kind of how we got to the topic. How do you feel about what happened with Tampa Bay and the Blue Jays?
What happened?
So
there was a play at home. There's a play at home. Kevin Kiermaier made a little bit of contact, whatever, but the catcher card fell out from our catcher. He looked on the ground. He picked it up. He took it. Blue Jays noticed that it was missing. They sent the bat boy over. Give us our card back. They said no. Flash forward to today. We beamed him. Bench is cleared. No ball. No fighting or whatever. But, there's some people, living by the finders keepers rule, and some people saying that it's kind of a douchey move. You shouldn't be stealing people's proprietary information. Old school guys are saying
Blue Jays fans are saying that.
Well, there's also old school guys blaming the Blue Jays, saying teach these catchers to learn this stuff without needing to write it down. So there's that faction, right?
Yeah, but he left something lying around, right?
Yeah.
Well, it got knocked out in the contact.
Yeah.
So he was sliding at home. He knocked it out of his thing and he picked it up.
It's his responsibility to protect that.
Dude, the best kept secrets are the ones that aren't written down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I'm a football player and I have all of our plays written on my wristband, like a lot of the quarterbacks do, and it gets knocked off of me during a play, and I don't notice it's gone, and the other team picks it up, well, guess what? They just have our playbook.
Exactly.
I agree with your thought process, but it's hard for that to happen because quarterbacks aren't allowed to get hit anymore.
Well, that's true. Okay, so middle linebacker.
Thanks to my boy Tom Brady.
Right.
I don't know, Leon. I think but that's the same thing as like stealing signs, in my opinion. Like, your responsibility is to protect it.
Right. There's no expectation of privacy if you're going to carry a card with your game plan out onto the field.
Yep.
You might as well have just handed it to them with their lineup card at the beginning of the game.
I think that's a bitch ass thing to do too. Is this whole throwing at a batter?
Yeah.
To me, we gotta have gotten past that at this point, right? I mean,
that's one of those unwritten rules of baseball.
Like, do you blame them if the roles were flipped? Would the Blue Jays have gave it back? Like, that's the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if it happened to the Blue Jays, if Tampa dropped their card and Vladimir Jr. just happened to pick it up, you think he's gonna go back and say, "Here, guys, you got your catcher dropped this card. He's got to keep this shit too."
The beanballing's got to stop.
It's got it. Listen, I was just thinking about this the other day. So I was watching the Red Sox Mets, right? And they were doing this whole thing on Ted Williams. First of all, I could do a whole show on Ted Williams. He's probably the best player to ever play the game. And I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me. When you think about he lost 4 years of his career and you look at his numbers, and he also should have won the MVP that year DiMaggio did, period. Go look at the numbers and then tell me that he shouldn't have won that MVP award. He batted 406. Okay. Give me a fucking break.
Better than the Rangers record.
So listen, but my point is Tony Conigliaro got hit in the face, right?
The catcher, right? Your Red Sox catcher.
He was going to be a young, yeah. All it's going to take is something like that. Like this whole thing needs to stop, like beating players. Like, it's not a tough guy thing. You're actually a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like I don't get it.
What drives me the most nuts is when somebody will hit a home run off of a pitcher and maybe celebrate a little bit too much, whatever. And then they throw at the very next batter. Like, what the fuck did he have to do with that?
You know what? Like, throw a better pitch next time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't let him
because you ever watch a pitcher after they're done striking a batter out, right? They're like waving at the sky and shit, doing all this fucking shit. But if they hit 400 feet off you, you can't do a goddamn thing. It's crazy.
That's what happened with the Marlins. So one of their young players, Jazz Chisholm, he hit 2 home runs, and on his second home run, he did a Euro step celebration. he brought it over, and then the next time he went out to bat, the pitcher struck him out and did the Euro step right back. So I'm all for that kind of stuff.
Fine. See, that's cool.
I'm all for that shit.
Yeah, if you just dish it right back, you strike him out next time, you pump your chest.
It's like if somebody dunks on you in basketball and then you just rear back and punch him in the face. I mean, you're gonna get suspended from the league.
It kind of depends. So, like, if I get dunked on and a guy's balls are in my face, I'm gonna probably punch him in the fucking face.
Or you're gonna get suspended, right?
All right, man. That's a small price to pay. If I got some guy teabagging me off the top, hanging off the rim.
Here, you duck.
But we got one of our bullpen arms probably looking at suspension though.
So he's gonna get, because it was so obvious. And then he goes into the dugout and he's giving his teammates a 5. Like, if he's some big shit, like,
listen, I'm all for a good brawl.
Oh, for sure.
Run out at that pitcher, pop him in the mouth, do whatever, right? But I'm not cool with like throwing a baseball at someone's face or their. What if you like lose one? Like, what if you just like if you're aiming for like their their hip or something or their side and you get them right in the face? Like, I mean, come on, man, it's dangerous. Some of these guys throw 100 miles an hour
coming at you. You only have milliseconds to react to that.
I got hit with a baseball once in the groin, right? And I pissed blood for 2 weeks. That's dangerous shit, man.
Yep.
That's not good.
No, man. You don't want to be hit like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But either way, that's not about cheating. So listen, the last one really is about like doctoring baseball. So this has been the one that's been, I mean, probably the most prevalent, right? So there's been so much going on from and this has gone on forever. Doctoring baseballs, right?
Spitballs, scuff balls.
Well, let's kind of talk about doctoring baseballs. And I mean, I guess we could talk. I don't know. Pine tars aren't even relevant anymore. I mean, who the fuck does that anymore?
Well, the batters still use pine tar, but we're not talking about them. Obviously, talking about pitchers.
No. I know. I was going to.
Yeah.
But I guess for the sake of this, let's just talk about doctoring baseballs from the pitcher's perspective. Cheating or not cheating?
It's explicitly stated it's against the rules in Major League Baseball, so it is cheating.
So technically it is cheating under the rule book, like Jason said, but I think it's bullshit. I don't see why these guys shouldn't be allowed to use it. Honestly, like
Use what?
sticky stuff, whatever they're using, stick or spider tag.
They can
Whatever
use
they-
rosin.
Rosin doesn't give you nothing though. Rosin,
Right. That's why it's legal.
That's
Yeah,
why they're
that's-
mixing
it
it
doesn't-
with like sunscreen and
a
shit.
rosin doesn't give you anything. Listen,
Listen.
on,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
on cold nights, let's say like when the season.
Oh,
Hold on.
my
But-
Yankees get rocked in April. because
Oh,
they
I'm not
use
even-
sticky
I
stuff.
don't care about this is across the league. I just think hitters are allowed to use pine tar, right? Obviously, it's for different benefits for them to hold on to the bat, whatever.
Mhm.
Why shouldn't I don't see an issue with pitchers being allowed to use it as well. I
Because
really
it's
don't.
against the rules.
I know it is technically in the rule book, but I think it shouldn't be in the rule book. I
Okay,
think-
that's a different argument.
yeah, I don't think it should be in the
Yeah.
rule.
I mean, if my pitching staff looked like the Yankees before and after the implementation, I would,
What's going on
want to
here?
go back to what it was before
Yeah.
too.
Just
So
beat the Yankees up.
Yeah. I mean, if,
yeah,
if I, had Garrett Cole
Chapman
on my
was
staff,
usable.
I would
Chapman
definitely
could
definitely
do
want that
stuff.
rule change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Garrett
no,
Cole
it's
was
against,
unhittable.
it's against the rules. You can't use sticky stuff to put more spin on the ball. You can't doctor the ball at all.
Why do you think MLB is so adamant about this one now?
because
The runs
hitters
were
were
way down.
complaining and the runs were way down.
Yeah, that's why.
Offense equals money. That's why.
They were on a crazy pace, right, for the no hitters. It was like 2 or 3 a week.
Dude,
It felt
listen,
like
man.
in the beginning of the year, like-
This is just the same exact reason why MLB turned its head to steroids at
steroids.
first.
Yep.
Is the same reason why they're focused on this now.
Well, now the exact
Money.
opposite. Yeah, the exact opposite would be the case. Like if all of a sudden players develop some substance that they could put on their bat that gave them 10 miles an hour faster, baseball will probably turn their head for a little while. No, and then they
It's
might
cheating,
slowly
man.
change. It is cheating. It's cheating. It has been cheating. It always was cheating. We just saw the 30 for 30, the about the 86 Mets, right? And part of that was Mike Scott
Yeah.
was a dud with the Mets, but he
Yeah.
goes to the
Houston.
Astros and
Houston.
has an MVP year and destroys the Mets. And they all said it was because he was doctoring the baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, it could change career. It obviously gives the pitcher an advantage. Doc Gooden even said he could see a big old scratch on the ball. He didn't know how to use it, but it's always been cheating. It always will be cheating until they change the rule. Maybe if the Yankees pay enough, they'll get that rule changed. But
I didn't particularly like that they just switched it in season because that, you had that argument for the pitchers getting injured, Glasnow, whatever. But, they got to come together. I think the MLB made a ball that was like kind of broken in already, but that the PA rejected it or whatever. They got to come up with some type of
stuck too.
substance that everyone can agree on. But I don't know,
Listen.
the spin rates kept going up.
And I think the problem with all of this is right. All of this is like, how do you
Where's the
manage
line?
it?
Yeah.
How do you kind of hold people accountable to whatever the rule is? Because there's no real clear-cut way to do it. There's really not, if you think about it. Like, you'd have to, like, what do you do? What do you do? That's the problem, is how do you manage all this stuff? Because you have all these players trying to, and organizations trying to manipulate and try to like kind of work around rules and stuff.
Mhm.
And you're just hoping to catch something.
I think the offense was down also. Yeah, like Jason said, due to guys using sticky stuff. But I think we could all agree, offense in baseball now is just it's not the approach for hitters now. You have a few hitters,
yeah.
you have a few hitters that know what they're doing at the plate. Their approach, I mean.
Oh no, it's
But guys,
terrible.
now it's terrible.
The
It's like-
denigration of the art of hitting is like nothing I've ever seen.
disgusting.
So how many 300 hitters do you have right now in baseball?
Say it again.
I know batting average isn't the end all be all, right? Because on base percentage to me is always more important, right?
Yeah.
That's a sign to me of a really good hitter is your on base percentage or your OPS, right? You add slugging to that, but there's how many 300 hitters? 5, 6?
It's probably like 5 or 6, maybe.
We got
that's a good number.
13.
A dozen at 13. You think that's impressive?
14.
Vlad Guerrero is leading the league at 318.
Yeah,
or something like that.
323.
That's a joke.
Yeah, that's 10 years ago. There were. It's crazy because
Boggs and Gwynn would be batting 364, 380, somewhere in that range. On base percentage around 430.
Yeah,
it's like
we only have 2 guys with an OPS of over 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean the art of hitting. So, but listen, we say that, right? But it also could be part of the problem. Could be, in fact, the substances, right? Maybe.
Yeah, and I think
maybe.
I'll tell you another thing I think is at fault here. And people may disagree with me here, but I think the umpires are at fault too. I've been watching so many games where they extend the strike zone and force hitters into a place where they have to swing outside of the strike zone. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And I'm seeing it more and more and more. I think the quality of umpiring behind the plate specifically has gotten worse.
Well, too many of these umps just want to have an ump show.
Yeah, that's
they want to make it about them.
Yeah, no, but listen, when you start to extend the strike zone 6 inches, right,
that
outside,
everything.
And as a player, players aren't naive to this. They're in the batter's box watching this strike being called 6 inches outside, and they're like, "Fuck." Now I'm facing a guy with this incredible spin rate. He's throwing fucking heat and with movement, and now I've got to extend my strike zone 6 inches.
Yep.
I can't be finicky anymore.
As long as they're consistent.
It's bullshit. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying you. I'm saying I think that's complete bullshit.
Yeah. But they've been switching it up though. Like Monday's game was a good example. They just, what was a strike in the first thing was not a strike in the third, like the third and not a strike on the ninth. That's when it gets crazy.
This whole consistency thing, and Jason, I don't know if you're being sarcastic, if you were standing by that, but this whole consistency thing it's the same thing as saying, well, if you're on steroids and you're at the plate, you could be on steroids and you're pitching. It's like, I don't know. It's like, to me, when I think about it, right, these umpires, I want robotic umpires yesterday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I do, but I also want a bigger strike zone. It needs to be higher. I mean, the strike zone's below. Yeah.
Well,
below the
no,
belt.
but if someone can throw heat at 100 miles an hour, 4 inches higher, no one's ever going to hit them.
Yeah,
it should be up to the letters. I mean, come on. The strike zone is like this big.
Yeah, but when you have to start swinging the bat that high at something that's coming at you 100 miles an hour, you have no fucking shot. That's just going to make the game even more low scoring.
Yeah.
I think the strike zone, the way it's constituted, should stay the same.
It's just the umpires.
But the umpires need to stick to it. Yeah. I watched a game the other day, and they were consistent. I'm going to be clear with you. They were consistent with both teams. It was the Red Sox and where the fuck they played before the Mets. I don't even remember.
Oh, Minnesota.
Was it Minnesota?
Yeah, I think
it might have been Minnesota. I'm watching this strike zone, literally 5-6 inches to the outside was a strike. And I'm watching the Red Sox hitters and the other team's hitters swing at all this shit because they had no choice. The umpire was dictating what they needed to do.
Yeah.
And he's waiting to toss that one. Right? He's just waiting for someone to show him up. And he's got that finger ready.
Like, hey, I'm gonna call a bad game. I'm gonna extend the strike zone so I have to swing at every goddamn thing that's thrown over here. Then when you complain about it, guess what? I'm gonna kick you out because I'm God.
Angel Hernandez, baby.
Angel Hernandez, I can't believe that guy still has a job.
I don't understand how he's
Joe West is pretty bad too.
No, Joe West is not as bad as Angel Hernandez is the worst.
And it's not even close.
I'm there with you. But there's a lot that are becoming really bad though.
Yeah, but Joe West listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be a little biased because Joe West has saved the Red Sox multiple times. So Joe West is saved the Red Sox on multiple occasions, one of which being in the 2018 World Series.
That home run.
With that Mookie Betts with that Mookie Betts shot. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man, these umpires piss me off almost as much as the cheating.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
There's no accountability. At least the NBA has that 2-minute report where they go, okay,
which means jack shit.
No, but
Jack
at least
shit.
you
It's
acknowledge
a 48-minute game, and you're going to judge them on 2 minutes. Get out of here.
What was it? No, I missed that part. What was it?
So the NBA has this 2-minute report that they go back and they review calls, and then they'll say like, okay, well, we fucked.
Hey, at least they're trying something, though. You know, I'm with you. At least they're trying something. Yeah, they should really. I think I think the umpires must have a great union too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're protected as well as the president,
Angel
right?
Hernandez sued the MLB.
Angel Hernandez, I swear to you, I've seen someone like
he still gets playoff
tagged out while they're still sliding.
Yep.
And they're like a foot from the base, and they're calling these people like safe. Like he's calling these people safe. The dude is a lunatic.
Yeah, he makes it like Leon said. He wants to make it all about him. He wants to be the show.
Well, we're talking about.
Oh no, Joe, not as much as Joe West though. I will say this: Joe West shows up.
Joe West today though. Joe West in the Tampa Bay Blue Jay game, he was one of the umpires there, and he seemed like he was telling one of the coaches from the Blue Jays to like just get the fuck out. Like that's kind. He didn't. I don't know if he said that. But it kind of looked like he was like he approached the coach like he wanted to fight almost.
Joe West is an old cranky son of a bitch, man.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
All right, so let's even know these guys' names is part of.
You shouldn't know these people shouldn't. They shouldn't.
No, but you only really know Angel Hernandez, Joe West,
CB Buckner's another one.
CB Buckner, yeah, he's another one. He's another
boy. And these
guys, everyone equally feels like their team gets, fucked over by all of them, but like no one should really feel that way. Just like the game should be the game. That's all.
It should be, but but I'm telling you, man, I do believe that like they dictate a lot of these games lately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it was against the White Sox too. It was the White Sox. I remember I was having this argument. It was against the White Sox. I was watching Devers swinging at shit all over the place. What the fuck is he doing? It's because the strike zone was widened.
Like 4 inches off the plate. Yep. It's crazy.
So if you widen that strike zone, right, and you're throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs at someone's fucking chin, they're going to start swinging at them. That's what they're going to do.
Imagine how far those would go if they connect, though.
You can't physically connect with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming up here. You can't.
You tomahawk at that 100-mile-an-hour.
No, man.
And everyone's Vlad Senior.
600-foot home run.
Not everyone's Vlad Senior.
That would have happened, man. That would have happened.
It'll be.
It's like you'll never see someone hit a pitch up here at 100 miles an hour. They happen. It's not possible.
If they did. Imagine if they did.
I can't imagine that because it's like me imagining a dragon and some other mystical creature. It's not gonna fucking happen. It's not gonna happen. But listen. So I think we've defined what we find to be cheating, right? So I think we've defined it. Jason thinks as long as they're both doing it, it's okay. So we got that out of the way. So Jason believes doesn't matter what you do if you're both doing it, it's okay.
No. Certain things, not steroids.
Leon is being an average Canadian. I don't know what is on his sweatshirt, but it's interesting.
It's a glizzy dog.
Nice.
Wiener dog.
Yeah. Well,
but for the steroids, think of the children, save the children. Think of the children. I don't want to see no kids in high school do steroids. Say no to drugs, kids.
I'd have to say Kyle had the most level-headed sort of thought process to all of this. Much expected. Jason said some ridiculous shit, but I do respect you, Jason, still.
But what did I say that was ridiculous?
You suggested that the pitcher should be able to wear an earpiece and be.
Yeah. Why not?
He's gonna wear AirPods.
Occasionally they get hit with comebackers. Imagine getting hit in the earpiece.
Something more ridiculous. Well, let's just allow any substance on the baseball so the Yankees can actually pitch again.
That's right, baby. I want to get
Chapman back too. He's
Listen,
been
Chapman,
useless
you know
without
what's
it.
the problem with Chapman? Everybody else throws 100 now. That's
Yo, you know what the problem
Yeah.
with Chapman is? He can't keep his hands off ladies.
Yo, yeah, that too. That too.
That whole domestic violence shit, man, that should be handled differently.
Oh
If
no,
it's proven,
I agree.
if it's proven, those fuckers shouldn't be allowed to play baseball.
I
You
completely
should lose your right to make millions.
100%.
Sport. Yep.
I completely
You
agree.
Beating on women and stuff, man. These guys are animals.
That's a punk move.
It is a punk move. That's why I liked when Devers hit that 102 mile an hour fastball off him in 2018. One of my favorite moments. One of my favorite moments of my life.
That was impressive. That was impressive.
It was, and that was pretty high, actually, Jason.
It was. It actually was a high pitch.
He tomahawked it.
He hit that one to right center, left center, opposite field.
All right, guys. So this was fun, man. As always, it's we may not get the most views on this show because it's not hat focused, but it's probably my favorite show to do.
We're all wearing hats.
Yeah. It's a space to kind of hang out, catch up.
Hopefully,
talk sports.
Leon's wearing pants today.
Got the pants on.
50 chance on that one.
Yeah, it's a
So
full
we're
pants
going to
Wednesday.
Designer Con. So we're going to Designer Con in
in November. I seen that, right?
November, yeah. So Leon and I are going out there
Nice.
with John, with our respective business partners.
Nice.
I said, Leon, listen, man, I'm gonna book my ticket. I'm gonna book the room. I'm like, dude, I'll get a room with 2 beds. We'll stay together, save a few bucks, right? He's like, man, I want you to know something. I was like, what? He's like, I fucking snore a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna say
You
something else.
expected something else?
I was like, what the fuck is this guy
I
about to
sleep
tell
in the
me?
nude.
No.
I'm a birthday
As a
suit
full
guy.
disclosure, I don't want to, you should have told me I haven't slept for 3 days.
It doesn't matter. You sleep during the day anyway, motherfucker. You don't sleep at night. I'm not worried about that shit. Not worried about that shit. But yeah, this was definitely fun, guys. I look forward to more of this. So again, I will not be on the show Friday night. We're gonna have some other folks in here, right, Leon?
Aaron confirmed already.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who's gonna drive this bus though?
Yeah.
Or is it just we're just gonna crash it right down the hill?
Communal bus that day. Communal bus.
Communal is gonna be like a
Uber pool of the
bus
buses.
driver by committee.
Yeah, Uber
Bus
pool
driver.
bus ride.
All right.
Well, listen, I will be there in spirit though. So with that, got all the folks out there, if you get that like button on your way out, I'd appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Even if you disagreed with some of Jason's more, we'll call them revolutionary tactics.
I'm
Please,
in the years
He's with the
3000.
times, with the times.
Please
Technology.
still like it. Please. I know he said some wild ass shit today, but he tried.
Just let me know in the comments. Let me know.
Yeah, just let them know in the comments. I think the Yankees might have won, or he's stretching over there. I'm not really sure, but either way, the Yankees are fucking done.
They took the lead, baby.
Okay, all right, good.
I mean,
Well,
they got a funny schedule at the end of it, so
Yeah.
you better get
Go
this one
through
because it's
the
not looking
gauntlet.
good for the rest of the year.
Don't worry, we got this.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I'll end it here. So, Leon, big fella, take us away.
All right, guys. Make sure subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video. Viewsfromvault.com for your official merchandise podcast available on all major streaming platforms. For Jason, Leon, Pierre, and Kyle,